How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I'm going to go and do a mission or contract. I've only got a couple left. I'm doing one on the Harvest Court map called Comms Tower. It's a bit of a simple one, to be honest. I've just got to head down to the airport, grab a service trailer, and then kind of take it over to some tower that's over on the right-hand side of the map. So yeah, setting off from the garage that I've got in Harvest Court. There's the service trailer at the end of the runway, and then kind of follow the roads really for the most part instead of cutting across. Yeah, just because I'm in this little truck and I've got a goddamn horse to me. I didn't want to go rallying too much across all the bumps. Yeah, for this one I'm going to use the step Crocodile. I've actually not really used it before. I tried to about probably a month or so ago, but it wasn't. It just wasn't really ideal for towing a like a big trailer. I'm pretty sure I had a saddle low on it and tried doing that. Yeah, goddamn horse. He fits in like a glove. Squeezed his way in there. That's what she said, of course. Yeah, I was pretty happy with that though. It's obviously got like a one-slot cargo thing, but yeah, roomy enough. Roomy enough for a loaf. It's also got its own little, like a roof rack, but I think it is just fuel. I don't think you get repairs with it. But yeah, somebody said it like, you know, in the right situation, it's actually not too bad of a little truck. So this was finally like a good excuse really to use one. As this mission was pretty quick and simple, I kind of figured if I went and got something like a, I don't know, Tatra Phoenix or the Dolphin or whatever, this mission would have been kind of done in a matter of minutes anyway. So yeah, it was just a good excuse really to actually get this thing out, because it's a little bit like the TUZ Action or whatever the hell it was called. I think I ended up calling it Taz, or the Warthog, or is it Tatra 805 or 815? The little one anyway, that's got like a single piece of cargo, like a one slot cargo bed and all that. Yeah, they're not. I ended up using most of them. Just they're quite funny to just go flying down the White Valley runway and jump off the cliff and messing around doing that sort of stuff. But as far as actual cranking out missions, they were just never the most ideal choice. On various, like when I've tried using the Warthog and all the other ones before, on a lot of the maps you get bogged down a bit here and there, and yeah, by the time you tow in a trailer or something, like a big size trailer, it just struggles with it a little bit compared to like the 6-wheeled trucks and above, like 8-wheeled, 10-wheeled trucks. Yeah, whereas this one was actually just quite a good excuse to use it, because the service trailer, for whatever reason, weighs about as much as a bag of crisps. So, not that I'm complaining, but yeah, there's not really a hell of a lot of weight to the trailer, and these maps are actually pretty forgiving as far as like using all the different trucks. So yeah, it was finally just a good reason to take it out for a little blast really. And like I said, it went up in my estimation when I was able to fit a loaf on board for some extra supplies and fuel and that, although I mean it's got a fairly small fuel tank. I think it's like 150 litres, but I don't think it uses that much. Plus yeah, you get a fuel roof rack thing with it, and if I can fit a loaf in. It also has like its own attachment that's like a fuel tanker thing on the back, but as usual with those, it just weighs loads to the point as soon as you even scroll like in the add-on menu, it just dumps the suspension down to the ground, and it's yeah, just, I mean, it probably drives alright in certain situations. It was snowy maps really that I remember, like the Action thing or whatever used to suffer a bit. And you can actually get the big custom mud tyres on this, like the wide sitting ones. Funnily enough, I sort of noticed it, I don't know how many, but it's got to be one of the few with the Russian vehicles, is you can have like the custom muds on, but you can't have any of the other kind of muds. Plus when you go down to the like chain tyres, you only get the, I think it's the all-terrain version of the off-road. It's like the crappy version that it normally just lets you have on the American trucks, but yeah, usually the Russian stuff usually has a selection of mud tyres, but even if they're a little bit strict on like which ones of those you can have, you normally get the mud version of the chain. So yeah, worth bearing in mind. I didn't go with the custom muds in the end just because, I don't know, they, again, I like how wide they sit and all the rest of it, but they're just a little bit lacking on the grip. And I already knew when I was driving through here, like, whatever monster of a dev decided to stash tree stumps all throughout this little sunflower patch that's running along the runway. That's why in the end I was like, sod it, I'm out of here. It was fun running sunflowers over, but yeah, they've completely ruined that bit because they keep putting bloody tree stumps everywhere. And yeah, this is, like I say, pretty quick mission down to the end of the runway. Grab this trailer. More tree stumps stashed around it. And yeah, this vehicle as well though, it's not too bad. Like, in the high range gearbox, just doing it in the high range because this game is a bit awkward recently with letting you use like normal auto gears. But yeah, in the high range gear, it's actually quite nice. It's got like a nice bit of punch to it. You can sort of feather the throttle. It doesn't immediately try and kick you out of high gear or anything like that. So yeah, you can actually feather the throttle without it kind of ruining the drive or anything. The horn I just did there as well, it's actually got a fairly decent horn for the size of the vehicle. It's better than some of the bigger trucks in the game. And looks wise, not too bad. It's basically, I suppose, kind of like a baby version of the Steptoe, or I suppose now the Step Pike as well. It's yeah, obviously just like a four-wheeled vehicle. It's only got one rear axle. You can actually have the saddle high and saddle low on it, which again, about a month or so ago, it might have been a little longer, I don't know, time's been flying recently, we're already approaching March. Yeah, I put one of the saddles on. I'm pretty sure it would have been the saddle low, and I probably went for the step deck trailer. Once it was loaded and all the rest of it, it was just struggling a little bit. And now, by the way, it was I managed to save myself on that one, fired a panic winch out, managed to grab something, a dead tree that didn't move. Yeah, just a little bit later, there was a glitch going on there, and I ended up quitting and reloading. But it also glitched the footage, so kind of like I cut a little early there. Yeah, I kind of got bogged down here. I'm not really too sure what I got caught on. It must be one of the rocks just sitting here, because it just kind of stopped, like I had no grip going on, really. I suppose that's one of the downsides of only having like 4 tyres as opposed to 6. There's just less grip points touching the ground where you can actually bite in and set off. Oh, I thought it all froze up then. It's because I was going on the map menu. Eventually, thankfully, I was able to reverse it a bit, kind of get back balance on my wheels, and then just kept firing winches out in typical fashion. There wasn't really anything useful. There's this telegraph pole to the side of me, but as far as in front, there wasn't really any useful dead trees or anything like that. I think I attached one of these little bushes that usually flies out the ground, but for a combination of like blipping the winch and driving forward, we got out of there. Possibly, I assume detaching the trailer might have helped a bit as well, but again, it doesn't really weigh a lot, this trailer. You can see it's all floating and bobbing around, but it's not really got a lot of inertia to it, so it doesn't really try and take you with it too much. And yeah, as I said, it's just a pretty simple mission. Mission, I can't even talk. I've not really slept very well. Plus, my granddad, was it yesterday now? It was probably technically the day before, but it was sort of like yesterday for me. He ended up having to go to hospital, and ambulance had to come and take him because he's yeah, I won't go into too many details, but he's got a catheter bag and there was a lot of blood. But then, I don't know, he's built like the Terminator somehow. It all seemed pretty bad. And yeah, he got taken in an ambulance, and then today, they're like, oh no, he's fine. So, God knows. It's like, it always seems to get pretty close where it's like, oh no, this might be it. I mean, I'm not laughing and joking about it, but it's just like, for the last couple of years, it's been like, oh no, it's seeming like it's pretty close. And then he just bounces back and he's fine again. So yeah, hopefully he's all good, touch wood. It's still in hospital at the minute, they're doing scans on him and that, but he, yeah, apparently he seems sort of happy enough, so hopefully he's all good and he should be back soon. But yeah, that kind of threw me out a little bit. It's obviously worrying a bit about me mum as well, she stresses about it and everything, so yeah, I was just a little bit distracted and sort of not really in the mood for doing a video. But yeah, as far as doing today though, I only had, in fact I've only really got this mission to choose from today, because this one then unlocks one called something like Wind Turbine, where I've got to finally take that 8-slot trailer with a fan blade on it from, I think, like the bottom end of the Crossroads map as well, all the way up to Harvest Corp on this map. So but I had to do this one, tower comms, just to unlock it, or comms tower. Yeah, just to get that. And the only other 2 contracts I've got left are like hot potatoes, which I really don't want to do, and that bulk loading, which I probably want to do even less. Although when I was looking around the other day, I did notice with that bulk loading, not that it's too great, but I believe the farm that you can do it on is fairly close to the airport anyway, and that's where you got to drop the stuff off. So that in and of its own right isn't too bad. The bit where it sucks is there's no trailer store on this entire map. And obviously if you're doing the farming, you're going to have to bring one of each trailer, so you're going to have to... Well, you could spawn a tractor from the Harvest Corp garage, but I'm going to have to bring... there's not even a trailer store, is there, on Institute either? I suppose I could go and rob the trailers from like the farming place I did on the Institute map. But yeah, that's going to... like, just getting the trailers there is going to be enough of a pain in the ass. If it had the tractors like that modded one, where it's kind of the trailer's sort of attached to it and it spreads its wings and gets it done a bit quicker, that wouldn't be so bad. But yeah, I'm not really particularly in the mood to drag 3 trailers over to that farm and then sit there for the next couple of hours just driving up and down a field, so I probably won't be doing that one either. So yeah, the only main mission or contract or whatever I've already got left is yeah, that wind turbine one. And like I say, this one, yeah, ended up being a pretty quick, simple, short mission. As soon as you get that trailer there, it kind of takes it off you, and for whatever reason it sort of puts it up on bricks next to the tower. And I was just trying to get a little view of it. This game was designed by pigs or something, so it won't let you look up in the air. I don't even know if that myth is true, that pigs can't look up. I'm pretty sure they can. I'm sure Babe, in that film, Babe, I'm sure he looked up at some point. Yeah, we got it done there. It's about 5,000, nearly 6,000. It's not too bad for a little simple throwaway mission. Just eyeballing the tower there. So I don't know if it added anything on top or not, but yeah, we got a little view of it. But anyway, that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my Patreon members. Get yourself a loaf because he's a goddamn professional, and I'll be back soon.